Hi Sujit.
Hi, what we are going to learn today.
So far, whatever we have learned, that all is awesome. But I want to improve a lot now.
So, what is most important thing according to you in business, which you want to improve in?
I find it difficult to make a connect with people. Also, it is difficult for me to handle different kinds of people. While you are better than me in handling them.
So you may be lacking the communication skills, which is required in all fields of operation.
So, what can I do to improve my communication skills?
I am feeling hungry. So first let me eat food to satisfy my hunger. Then we can talk about it. So let's visit a restaurant nearby.
Sujit and Anita goes to a restaurant to have their lunch. Anita to Sujit.
Yes, let's start our discussion till our order is completed.
Okay, what we were supposed to discuss today.
We had to talk about the communication skills. Lastly, we had discussed about the differences between sales guy and the marketer.
Yes, today we will discuss about a concept in the sales world. That is kiss versus kill.
I didn't get it. What is it?
This is the most important concept in communication skills. The full form of KISS is keep it short and simple, while kill stands for keeping it long and lengthy. So, an amateur salesman would kill the sales by going on and on about unnecessary details. A good salesman, on the other hand, would hit all the important points in shortest time possible to close the deal.
So, how can we keep it short and simple?
The first step is to be efficient with your speaking. Conversation is all about quality. Try to remove all types of filler words. Like, I guess, well, you know, these words brings no value to the conversation. And literally means nothing.
Can you explain it with the help of an example?
Yes, sure. Let's assume that if someone asks you, what did you do this winter? The answer that we most probably get is, well, I had an okay time this break. I went snowboarding for the first time with some friends. And well, it's actually a lot harder than it looked, you know. That's about it. I guess I had fun. Haha.
What is the best way to pass the same information?
Now, it could be said as, me and some friends went snowboarding. It was actually my first time. But, it was a lot harder than it looked. So you can see filler words are replaced by pauses. So, this is my second tip. To use pauses instead of fillers.
What is the use of pauses? And how does it affect the communication?
Use pauses to emphasize different parts of the messages and to deliver more powerful messages. This skill is the most important skill in terms of overall conversational ability. To master this one skill, you will have endless conversation with just about anybody.
Is that it? Oh, am I supposed to know more to master communication?
A number of things are to be in our mind while having a conversation. Third point is conversational threading.
What is this conversational threading? And how can we use it to make our communication effective?
See, many a times, we have came across situations where you don't have enough topics to talk upon. In that case, we use conversational threading, which means to split a sentence having many topics into small subtopics, and then discussing on each subtopic separately, without breaking the flow.
Yes, I have came across situations where we don't have enough topics to talk upon. So, can you explain me with an example how to deal with such situations?
Consider the sentence, I live in New York City, but I always wanted to move to the suburbs. It's because I love nature and hate being around too many people. So, here you have 4 subtopics. Firstly, you can talk about the time you visited New York. Secondly, you can talk about how you feel about living in the suburbs. Your next part can be how you like or dislike the nature. Lastly, you can talk about how you're also an introvert. When a conversation dies, it is usually because there is no any topic to talk about that are interesting. So, when given the opportunity to branch off into different subtopics, choose one that you are interested in talking about. Also keep in mind that you want to be giving the other person the opportunities to talk about multiple topics as well. If you don't give them time to branch off the topics as well, your conversation would eventually reach a dead end.
This seems quite difficult. How can I do it fluently?
This skill comes with practice. The more you look for the topic to bounce above, the more you notice them.
Can you explain it with an example?
Okay, look at this example. I like going to the gym. There's a sense of satisfaction I get when I see myself getting better at something. So, here there are 3 different topics that you can talk about. You can talk about how you like going to the gym. You can talk about something that satisfies you. You can also talk about something that you got better at. I hope you get that.
Yes, definitely. You made it so easy to understand.
Sujit gets a call from his office. He picks up the call. Now. Sujit to Anita.
I have to reach my office in an hour. So, I need to go now.
Would you mind if I can go along with you? We will also discuss something more about it.
If you wish, you can come along with me.
Anita and Sujit leaves the restaurant to move to the office.
Did you like the food that we ate at the restaurant?
The food at the restaurant was good.
This restaurant is known for its food. So I wanted to taste the food of the restaurant. I am quite satisfied with the taste.
Sujit and Anita moves to the office. While Anita continues to discuss a number of things.
There is a question in my mind. May I ask you,
Yes, go for it.
why do people hate to be interviewed? It is also a type of conversation. Then why it is so?
Okay, just remind yourself about the interview experience that you have. Ask yourself, what is it that you hate the most about an interview?
The problem that we face mainly is with questions. The interviewer asks a lot of questions.
Exactly. This is my point. In an interview, when a person asks a lot of questions, then the person being interviewed feels being interrogated. That's why people feel uncomfortable when they are told about the interview.
I understand. It means we are not supposed to ask questions in a conversation.
No, questions make the conversation effective. But that is after you build connect with the person. When you're talking to any stranger, then first you need to build connect with the person.
How to build connect with a stranger?
You remember how you made your first friend. At the starting, your closest friend was also a stranger, but with time you're both connected. And now are good friends. We both were also strangers in the starting, but now we are best friends. So, making a connect requires general conversation, where you can understand each other, while asking questions to a stranger is demanding information from the other person. This is when the uncomfortable feeling comes from. So there is a lack of connection that is being built. So try to share information about yourself as much as possible to build rapport.
Then, how can we know about the other person if we are not asking questions to him?
This is what my next point is. Use statements instead of questions. Whenever you hang out with your friends, you will notice that most of the part of the conversation is statements. The question is drawn in as a natural part of a conversation, but the most part of the conversation is covered by statements.
What kind of statements we can use mainly? And which one is the most important?
The most important one is story or opinion statement. Basically, a statement that tells a small story or shows your opinion on something.
Can you explain it with the help of an example?
See, a question can be replaced by a statement. Like a question can be, what are you scared of? We can use a story statement instead of this question. That is, I used to be terrified of the dark. When I was a kid, I would sleep with my head under the covers to hide from monsters and ghosts.
But what is the benefit of converting the question into a statement?
You can see that the question does not share any information about yourself. So it is awkward to ask a question, as it gives only one topic to talk about, while the story statement shares information about yourself, and it gives the other person the opportunity to talk about different topics. As here, the person can talk about the dark. He can talk about things that he was to do as a kid. And also, he can tell about the ghost stories.
Yes, I got it. This is really awesome. But, is there any other types of statements that we can use?
Yes, the next type of statements that we can use is called red statement. This is a great way of using statements for someone you just met.
What is code red statement? And how to use it?
Here, the statement is based on the observation that you make about the other person.
Can you point out an example for it?
You can convert a question in code red statement. Like if you want to ask, what do you like to do for fun? Look at this statement. Hey, you look like a fun-loving person. I bet you have some interesting hobbies.
Yes, it sounds like a compliment to the person.
Yes, definitely. So the person can respond in 3 different ways. Number 1, you're wrong and they will correct you. I'm actually not fun. I sleep all day. Number 2, you're wrong, but you will be asked why you thought so. I'm actually not fun, but I am curious as to why you thought I was. Number 3, you're correct and a large amount of rapport would be built instantaneously. I am fun. I dance and sing. But how did you know? Each of these way gives you numerous opportunities to branch off into different topics as compared to the simple question. That is, what do you like to do for fun?
So, here we had given information first and waited for their reply. After that, we had to follow some basic procedures which we had learned in the starting. I think whatever I have said is correct. Let's go to the next type of statement.
Finally, we have the random statement. They can be anything. Things that are happening around you. Observations, stories, random talks. There is a whole lot of stories that you can talk about. For example, you can say, I'm tired of my friends. All they do is talk about sports all day. Or you can state is, look at that guy. He's having so much fun. I wish I could be as loose as he was. Each of these statements share a lot of information about yourself. They also provide multiple topics to branch off into. And finally, it brings a sense of creativity and spontaneousness to the conversation.
Okay, I get it. We are supposed to use statements instead of using questions in a conversation.
Absolutely. We can add humor to it, which is an extremely complicated way to dance and play with your words. You can talk about storytelling. That is essentially telling a captivating and exciting story that will allow strangers to jump into your world. You can also talk about how to have deep conversations. That is an essential tool to building a long lasting, valuable relationship. There is really much more about a conversation. Remember, conversation is a skill. And just like any skill, there is value to learning it. But the most important thing is to go outside and practice what you have learned.
I would be implementing them all in my future conversations. I am so happy today. Thank you so much for the awesome learning.
You're welcome always. It's time for me to go now.
Sure, bye. See you then.
Shall I send someone to drop you?
No, it's okay. I will reach my home safely. Don't worry.
Okay, take care.
Anita leaves the office and goes back to her lounge. Anita makes a video to be uploaded on her YouTube channel.
I hope you may have liked the video. If you have liked it, then hit the like button. Those who are new to the channel, please subscribe the channel to get the notifications of the uploaded video at the right time. We will meet again in a new video with some other topic. Till then, keep learning and innovating. See ya.